So, okay, people, before I start with this video, I got to tell you something. No laughing. No laughing, okay? So, I bought some Halloween decorations, and they were sitting on my little chest of drawers here. And it just looked like a crowded mess. So I figured I got to do something. And I don't have a lot of money, so I made something. So no laughing. So I'm going to show it to you. There it is. And it's sitting on I just put it on my chest of drawers. So now, let's see. Let's see if I can get more of a close-up. So I kept thinking, how am I going to do this on this low budget? Now I know that there are some like bookshelves and stuff, but a lot of the bookshelves just were too wide. A lot of bookshelves are like 16, 18 inches. I didn't want that. I just wanted something narrow to put on top of here. I thought about buying a cube storage thing, but they're only 12 inches, and I wanted a little bit more room. I wanted a second shelf, all this shit. So I was going to make one, and then all of a sudden I thought, why? I could jimmy up something at home. So what I did was I went out and I bought 2 wood crates from the dollar store at $10 each. And I had all the rest of the supplies. So the things on the top shelf there, hold on a second. I'll show you. The top shelf, this thing. Oh, you can't see it. This thing, this top shelf, they are, believe it or not, they are pieces of a pallet that I kept. My neighbor was throwing out a pallet, and I always kind of sometimes need a piece of wood for something, I don't know. So I took the pallet and I took apart whatever wood that I could, but it was a lot harder than I thought. Physically, I didn't have the strength, so I stopped at 4 of them. Those suckers were nailed in there hard. And so those are the 3 slats from a wood pallet, 2 wooden crates from Dollar Tree, and then I had to buy some paint. So what I had to do was I had to pull some nails out of the pieces that were left in the pallet because they were hammered down tight. And I didn't want them in there because I figured, you know what, I'm going to cut my hand on them. So I struggled, but I got them out. And then, that's raw wood and it's very splintery. So I sanded down the 3 pieces from the pallet, and I was going to find a way to seal it, which I can't do it right now because it's just too damn hot. So I decided, am I going to leave it plain, or am I going to, and so I thought plain would be just too shitty looking. And so I went to Michael's and I bought 1 large, or medium actually, size of chalk paint. And I just picked whatever brown color they had. I wasn't picky. I didn't want it white. I didn't want it to stand out from the wall and be stark. So I picked a brown. So I sanded them all down, and I didn't sand the crates. I didn't sand those. So what I did was, first I painted the 3 slats from the pallet, and then I planned out how I wanted, if you could see, there was kind of like a wallpaper on each of these. Hold on, I'll show you this one. there is, so, and there is kind of like a floor on each of them. So after oh, this is handy. So after come on, get out. Okay, it's not gonna work. So after I painted these, hold on. Okay, oh, this is better. So you see that? See that wall in the back? I wanted to add those so it doesn't look as bad as wooden crates, you know. So I had everything else. I had the paper for the background. I had brushes. I had Mod Podge. What else did I need? I don't know. But can you see the floor in there? And can you see the floor in there? And then there's the background. And there's the background there. I could have put a third one in there, and maybe I should have, but I don't know. I just didn't want to spend that much money. So after I painted it, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with the background. So then I didn't paint the back of the slats. Instead, I just put paper over it. And I made a background to make it look like some kind of wallpaper. And then on the floor, I used that same, I had old, you know, the old pads from Michael's with all the Halloween, with all the construction, all the paper on it. And each pad has like 50 pages and they're a theme. You know what I'm talking about. I had 2 of those from Halloween left over, which I never used. So I took those and measured out the how much it was gonna, how it was gonna fit in there. I took some of that paper, matched it up, and you know, the holes, there were holes in the crate for handles, and I didn't want them showing. That's why I made the floors. So what I did was I took some of that paper that I had from those Halloween pads, and I Mod Podged it to a piece of cardboard, and I made it dry, and then I cut it this size and I just slid it in there, and that's it. I had to weight them down because the cardboard was corrugated, so the glue was having problems finding a surface to stick to, so that was an issue. And then I wanted to put some kind of finish on this because I don't want to get splinters as I work with it, but I can't do it now because it's too hot. I'm going to have to wait till it cools off, which will probably be in a month or 2. I might take it outside and put some kind of finish on it. Now, I did, when I first bought these 3 things from the palette, when I first lined them up, they were all even. And then, you know, it's like you paint them, then you got to switch, change the direction and paint to the other side and do all this stuff. And then you lose your spot, what you were doing. So now they don't quite, this one is a tad bit higher than that one. But you know what? That's just tough. And then I almost didn't paint it. Oh, look at that. I almost didn't paint that under there. And then I thought, if somebody's sitting in a chair and they look up, they're going to see that. So I painted that up here. And I just painted the sides of the inside and the outside of these things. And I just decoupaged the paper. I had to use 2 sheets of paper. I had to size them, and you know, and they're not perfect, but it's good enough. And lo and behold, I don't think it looks that bad. What do you guys think? So anyway, it took me, I had to wait for stuff to dry, the paint to dry and stuff. It's taken me 2 days to put that thing together. And let me see if I can get over here so you can see the whole thing. See? So I'm really pleased the way it turned out. You could still tell it's a crate, but it's not so bad. I have, in the dollar store in the summer, they sell this little chain that you could hang your plants from. It's a very fine chain. And because that cat has such a vicious expression, I'm going to get the chain and I'm going to see if I have enough chain. I'm going to run a chain, 3 chains down there so like she's locked in there, and especially with that crazy pumpkin. I'm going to see if that's going to work, but we'll see. I don't know if I have enough chain for that. If not, I might go to Home Depot and buy some. But the one from Home Depot, it's black already and it's very fine, which I want, because if you don't want to get chain that's too thick for that, because then it won't look realistic. Know what I mean? I had problems fitting that tree in, but I got it in there, and it works pretty good. So I might think of something to do with the skeleton, something else to put in there with him. I don't know. And so, anyway, I hate doing this kind of stuff. I would really love doing it, except for the fact that my house is very small and I have no yard to do it outside, especially with neighbors watching. The neighbors are very close here in the mobile home park. You have no privacy, and I thought, if I fuck up, I don't want them to see it. So I put it together in the house, and there was hardly any room to assemble it and glue it and see how it looks and all that. So that made it tough. And then on top of it, my dog, who thinks she's a cat, when I opened up the Mod Podge, when I opened up the paint, of course, she had to come over and smell it. So I had to watch that she didn't step in it. And then when I took out the Mod Podge, I set the brush down to do something, and my dog picked up the brush. So I tried locking her out of the room, but she pouts and feels bad if I do that. So anyway, that was my Halloween project, and the more I look at this, the more happy I am with it. So, and also this was an experiment because I need to put up some shelves in other places, but I want like a pallet size. I only want like 3 inches or something, just to put a little something on it. So if I can find more pallets, I'm probably going to do it that way. I'll just remove the nails, sand them down, paint them, and hang them up. And that will work fine just for little things, you know. Now, my concern is that this is really cheap shit. So, this stuff right here, I'm hoping it's going to be able to stand the weight. So, the only thing really heavy on that is this, with the candle on it. That's kind of heavy. The rest of this, even that's not that heavy. And the rest of it just isn't heavy. So, and there's no way this weighs a ton. So I wasn't going to put that on top, although I would love to, but I'm not going to put it up there. So, anyway, that's my invention. Like about a month ago, I called my friend who lives on the other side of the park, and I said, if I get some wood and build a bookcase and I do this, that, and the other thing, would that work? And he is so OCD. He says, that will never last and blah, blah, blah. Well, who the hell says it's got to last all that long, you know? So, anyway, I did this myself without talking to him because, I mean, he he's got to have everything like just so. And I don't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. This wood is shitty. There are dings in it and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I don't care. Who's really going to walk up here and inspect it? Nobody, right? So it's doing its job. It looks pretty good. And so there you have it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.